don't think it'll go live on Discord because they had to resort the Discord out. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I fucking deleted that by mistake, but I'll get it back. Right there, let's see if it comes. Should be up there. Yeah, it's up there now anyway. So, welcome to League of Ireland podcast. We have LOI Ben Ratcliffe here. Yeah, this is podcast number 10. Hopefully everybody enjoys it and stays tuned. So Ben Ratcliffe, he's raced nearly 40 times for us. 39 I have written down here, and he has 5 wins and 9 podiums, if I'm correct. And he's raced 3
Thanks.
full
Off the top of my
seasons.
head, seems about right.
Yeah, I think I know 39 including in there was the where you've raced in tier 1 and other tiers.
Yeah.
So yeah, so roughly I think I was close. It's either 39 or 40, but yeah, so how's things, Ben? How are you getting on?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Keeping
Enjoying the
well?
break a bit, but looking forward to getting back to it.
Getting into it, that's good, that's good. And whoever's watching, by any chance, can you share a link into the Discord? Because that isn't working at the moment, but I'll get it fixed. But if you can, wheeling if you're there. So Ben, so I'll take us through it. So, what made you get started league racing? Obviously, let's try. Was LOI your first league race, or have you done league racing before?
No, so it was like I was in one for probably a month before I started in LOI, but it was very small and it was only like 15 drivers, and then I found the wheel to wheel TikTok that brought me to League of Ireland.
Yeah, so whale to whale. So obviously you saw that, and I think I remember when you joined. I think it was season 4, roughly about Australia time, Singaporeish time. Was it?
Hungry.
Hungary. Is
Hungry was
that
my
when you got?
first race.
So yeah, so he's raced 40 times then. Um, yeah. So take us through what was it like getting the experience of obviously being in like a league like this. What was it like joining?
Yeah, so like it was a lot different to what you'd think. Like, you know what I mean? You'd think it was a lot more, a lot smaller, a lot more laid back. But then you realise how actually competitive it can be, and how serious everyone takes it, which is really good. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Means like it gives you something to look forward to. Love a bit of competition, like bragging rights and stuff like that. So
that's good. That's good. And obviously, did you know where your standard was, or it was just like when you joined in season 4, it was just like I'll just take it easy now, and just when I get a full time C, I'll go from there. I know where I stand.
well, I'd only been on like because I only started when I started on the wheel, so I'd only been on it for about I'd say 2 3 months beforehand. So I knew it was going to be around the lower end of it. So I'll take it from there and see where I can go. I wanted to move up one tier every season. It was all right for the first couple of seasons.
Ah, that's good. That's good to see. And obviously, we take you joined your first full season in season 5. I have here you've had 1 win, 4 podiums out of the 12 races, and you finished P3 in Tier 3 with 104 points. So obviously, usually going into a new season like a new driver, you don't really expect that. But obviously, from yourself, top 3 in Tier 3, were you expecting to stay in Tier 3 much longer after that, or?
I think once I had gotten that, like, because I hadn't done much until I got the result in Austria, like my first pole and win. And at that point, I think somebody had mentioned like, look, you could end up moving up, and I was like, right, Grant. And then after that, it was all no, you're gone. Enjoy it while it lasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, like, 'cause that was you really like grew as a driver in that season. I think that was the biggest jump out of the last two seasons where we get to, but and obviously getting your first win, and you got four podiums that season. So like you were thereabouts in the championship, but do you just think consistency let you down, or
Yeah, that would be the main issue. Even now, like it's having the full concentration for the whole race, the whole season. I find it very easy that 1 second you lose concentration and you're over a curb, or you're in the gravel. So it's
yeah,
been
like
my
that?
main downfall.
And did you feel any pressure in that season when you joined, or compared to any when you joined at the start, or just the same?
No, I don't think it was pressure. Now at the start, like in my first race, it was very, if I make a show of myself, I won't be back. That kind of thing. But other than that, I was like, just get yourself a few points. We'll see. We'll take it from there.
Yeah, that's it. In fairness, like you started like you've got your like first race in that season. You got P10, and then a P3 and a P2 and a P6 was your first run. Like so that's it's not a bad start. I think in that season, Conzo was just too quick. Like he finished 80 points behind him. He finished in
Yeah,
184. So like
yeah, he was unstoppable that season.
yeah, and Joe Mack was very quick that season as well. So like they
Yeah,
had a championship, but like, and then you like literally at the end of the season, I think you fell apart with consistency wise. But you got your first win in Austria, the second last race of the season. You remember?
yeah. Oh, I remember it alright because I remember the qualifying was wet and it was. I actually got there the last second. I only got the pole because Cons ran out of fuel going to the line while I was behind them. And I lost 5 positions off the start, and I managed to claw my way back. I went like 19 laps on the softs.
Yeah, that's true. As I remember that briefly, but that's with season five, and then that's your first season. Obviously, you settled in well. Like there was five tiers that season, and you're in tier three. So like
Yeah,
it's not like it's the end of the world because you're in tier three, but there was five tiers at the end of the day. But obviously, you moved up to tier two then season six. Take me through that. Did you want to move up, or did you think it was right for
yeah.
yourself?
So like I wanted to move. Like the aim was to move up every season to go up 1 tier. So I was happy to go up. Now I didn't think I'd do too well, but I was like, if I can just do well here, like I understand I probably won't get to tier one the next season, which I didn't. But I just wanted to settle in to tier two and actually get used to probably a bit closer racing. And like a tenth really does matter as compared to tier four and tier three, where it was a bit you a little more forgiving.
Yeah, like that's it as well. Like obviously, when you go up to like the likes of tier two, obviously the time difference between the drivers minimum noises, as you said, a tenth. Like it's like a tenth is actually can be quite big on like Austria or your Brazils. Like a tenth is like three tenths in like from Singapore, your Spas, your Baku. So like it just goes to show you every that little tiny bit of difference can get on, as you just said. And obviously you started in like P1, like you P1 in season six, new game, tier two. Did you thought like the
Yeah.
championship was on then, like the good start, like and then tier two,
Well,
one.
the qualifying didn't exactly go to plan. I crashed out and I started 17th. So it was like I was just kind of shocked to win it, and I thought, look, if I can clean up the qualifying, the race pace is clearly there, and it was for a couple of races, but then again, the same thing about consistency comes back to bite you.
It does, like it's mad. Like you had two wins that season. I'm looking at it here,
Yeah,
and
first and
yeah,
last.
yeah, the first and the last race you got a win, and then you had three seventh places, and then a second place. But you had
In Monza, I think, wasn't it?
yeah, Italy, and that was near halfway through the season. And
Yeah,
then you had six, I think it was six no like no points. So
Yeah.
like that's mental. Like for like driver who has won 2 races that season, and I'm gonna just look here now. McGee won the championship that season, alright? And you had more race wins than him, and
Yeah.
you
I
finished
think I was
seventh.
the only one to win more than one race in the season.
Was that it? Yeah,
It
there
was,
was
yeah,
11 different winners. Was it?
it was dead. Like, it was, because everyone was so, like, now I don't know if the championship points reflected it, but I mean, everyone was so close on pace that
Yeah,
season
that's
where
it.
it
Like
was,
you, like 126 won, and then you're on 86 in P7. Like that's what 40 points, is it? I think
I
40.
believe so,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's less than 2 race wins. So like even if you got like, say if you got like a P5, if you got P5 and then non-contests, you would have won the championship when you think about that season because that's 50
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
It's mad to literally break it down because I think I had a conversation with Colin B and Gary, and we were talking about like previous seasons who's won it and all like, and you break down. It's not like sometimes like it can't be the wins. If you broke down your points and divided by your points by 12, that's the average points position. So if you go back in all the tiers and you study that, so for an example, you're in tier 2 now this season, or for the other drivers who are
Yeah.
watching it, you just divide that by 12, and then that'll get you roughly, at least you know where you stand. And plus, it's easier now with because there's been more seasons now. Like it would have been harder to judge it by, but it's a good stepping stone, I think, in that way.
Definitely, yeah. Like, I think a lot of people see, oh, you have to win races to be finishing high, and you have to be in a tier, you have to win races. Look at Rory Drain in particular, who was just a points machine, like, you know what I mean? I
Would
think he finished in a decent position the last 1 or 2 seasons compared to his pace when he hasn't actually had it. It was all just consistency.
That's it. Like, and it's like Sully, like in Tier One this season, he only
Yeah,
got one win, but he had like he had 172 points. So like that was like Dan OM had 2 wins in season 6, and he finished on 130 something. So that's like another like 2 race wins in points. It just goes to show you if you're in that top four, you pretty much won a championship. If you're in the top four every race, you've won a championship, or even if you got about 4 wins to help you, and if you had no contests. But if you want to finish fourth every race, you've won it pretty much.
yeah. It's all down to consistency, especially in the higher
It's
tiers. Like,
yeah, especially now the way the league has gone. It's just like it's usually the fastest driver isn't usually winning. It's the most consistent who wins the championship.
no,
And
definitely not.
and so obviously being in tier 2, obviously that season, and even noticed. But take us through last season then. Like, what was your expectations? Obviously, you won the last races. You had a very strong last like couple of races of the season, but
Yeah,
there was no score points in the little gap between them. But
yeah. It
I
was
think that just them then no C's probably just kept you in tier 2 because if you had like 4 wins on the trot, you could have been in one. But obviously, I'd like to see you in tier 2 and see you for
absolutely, yeah.
consistency. But obviously, being in season 7,
It was like, because like when I look back, like I had the pace to win. Like, I was on for the race when Monza crashed out from the lead. Uh, Australia was up there at the top, like with pace wise, but again, crashed, lost the head. So it would have been, it was 2 races I definitely could have won, along with Mexico I threw away as well. So consistency again is the word again, but could have had 5 probably race wins. So just edged out for me. I think had I won 5, I would have finished in a much better position. Probably could have ended up moving up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Let's see what happens.
yeah, like that's true. And obviously, you had a bad start to the season, but um, yeah. So for next season, what's the goal for next season?
Well, I'm gonna say championship, but because I think I'll be up near the top end of it. Um, there is a few, like if I'm looking through now, there's a few, like the likes of Jack Carty is back, I think. Ronan is picking up a lot of pace. Um, yeah, you have the likes of him. Connell's down as well. Connell can definitely win a few races. Maglock's Faze McBot, some of the lads that have just moved up, like they're showing that they can stick it to us up in tier two if they were down into the tiers below. To see the improvement from them is unbelievable. Like,
Yeah, I agree with yourself. Like it's I think this be I don't think that there'll be like a section or a slim in season five. Like them two and a Tommy as well. Like so, like
yeah,
usually tier two, just a driver, just. But I think hopefully this season and just hopefully that'll just go very tight and obviously it'll be a good season. No drivers running away with it. But who do you think would be the
definitely.
biggest competitor? Like who, if you had one driver to pick, you think, oh, geez, that lad might be the favourite and that lad might be the one to be besides
Now,
yourself.
this was said in the party earlier on. I said very bluntly, I said it depends on which Jack Carty turns up. Jack Carty is probably, I think, eh, probably 6 tenths quicker than everybody in a race pace on each lap when he wants to. But another week he could be absolutely nowhere. So if he's on top form, he'll be definitely a competitor.
Yeah, so that's. And have you spoke to Jack Carty or anything
Yeah,
lately? Or
yeah, no, I'd get on
yeah,
well with Jack. Me and him were teammates at the start of last season. Then he took a bit of a sabbatical, but yeah, him. I think him, Connell. We know Connell's situation, but Connell will definitely be bouncing back.
yeah, that's what we hope as well, because he was. It's one. I think it was in season five. Like he was a completely different beast than he was compared to now. Just I don't know how he's the biggest. No disrespect, probably one of the biggest declines in LOI history. That is.
Except one of the men who went through from tier one to tier four, and then back to tier three again, Mr. Kachiga.
Yeah, yeah, and
Awesome man.
some man, but obviously, well, like say if you won tier two, how would it feel? How would it feel for you?
You'd have to be chuffed, like. It's like I get chuffed. Like if I win a race, I'd be buzzing like for the night. So I can only imagine winning a couple and then winning a championship. So and moving up to tier one would be the bonus on it. Like
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. And obviously, like I think you were that top 40 driver in the league, like in the country. Now I think you've established yourself that top 25 spot now. Like you're in the top 25. In my opinion, I think you have. Like you've showed at the end of the season. And how you find the wheel? Like is that the exact same wheel? Have you changed them? Anything pedals or
yeah,
steering
so
since this?
I started for season 4, 5, and then most of 6 I was on the Logitech, and then I moved on to the T300 for the last of season 6, and then the season 7 for all of season 7. But then I got to make it another learning curve. I put the F1 add-on wheel onto it, so it was a lot different to work. But I think consistency helps a lot with.
That's it, like, and as you're upgrading and you're enjoying them more as well, like, that's a good thing. And I think being on the wheel, you're gonna keep growing and pace wise. So, oh, Jesus, I think you'd be a force to reckon with in like in 2 or 3 seasons. It'd be interesting now with the new game, with the
Yeah.
with the wheel and with how the logistics of it will work out. But what if you had one thing to change about the league? What would you change about it?
Uh, well, I know I don't know about Evans. I'm gonna really miss the all drivers. I think some of the crack with the lads was brilliant in there and stuff like that. But when it comes to the actual racing, I don't think there is a whole pile that can be changed. Because like on my side, like even when I haven't had a great race, I've always had somebody wheel to wheel with me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So Yeah, I think mostly would be the whole drivers on this, but other than that, I'm happy out. Like, you know what I mean?
Jeez, you like your bit of EastEnders, don't you? You like the
I love me drama. I love it.
again like that
Have
Irish
to.
Gary fella there in the party chat there talking
Two
is.
of us sitting there like a pair of elves in a party watching it all blow up.
Yeah, yeah. And what would you think of a full qualifying format in the future?
Oh, personally, I'd like it. I think it would add like a whole different kind of side to the race almost where it is easier to go on to a different strategy and I think you'll see a lot of people end up completely different to where they are in a short qualifying. Like somebody that's qualifying 16th could end up in third, and somebody who's getting poles can't do it in three different sessions. You know what I mean? I think it adds a bit of mystery to the race.
That's I agree with you on that. I wish like there's been talks about it, but there's just it'd be
It's
hard.
a
But in the
difficult one to
future,
run with time, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
it's the time. But like if you got everybody, like it's if you got everybody in early, like if you got at 9 o'clock, if you got all the tiers, but it's just like getting them in early. But like people it's a long, like it's long for like somebody who gets knocked out
gets
early,
knocked out. Yeah,
and then
it
plus
can
your
be
warm up.
demotivating as well if it's somebody who's always out in Q1, then they start off cold because they haven't driven in about 40 minutes. Well,
Yeah,
25, 30 minutes, like.
and that's it. And plus, like, if you were gonna do it, you'd have to do it this season it's because the new game with the new rules now, you can start in any tire. Do you get me? So like, if you're
Yeah,
in the top
yeah.
10, so for the new game, it won't really make it too much of it like a strategic difference because you can start in a hard or a medium or
Start wherever, yeah.
yeah, wherever. Like it's not none of this top 10, so you'll start on fresh tires and actually in the race when you think about it. So
I
that'd
don't
be
know, I
interesting.
think that's. What do
Yeah,
you
it's.
think of that?
Do you know what? I think that rule, right, for racing terms, right, it'd work well with the faster drivers.
Yeah,
It'd work well with the lads who are near the top of it because, but it could work against them, which like it won't always work, but strategic with safety cars. But if it was the lads that were, they're all gonna start in the harder compound. But the way safety cars have been recently in certain tiers and certain tiers, hopefully it
yeah.
picks up well. But I think it's an unfair advantage outside the top 10. I think they
I think
always
it's
had.
always great, like, to see the people that sometimes, like, when you know you're not quick enough for, like, pole and stuff, you're not quick enough to pole second, third, fourth, so you decide to battle for P11,
Yeah,
and you're
that I
trying
missed
to
that
set a
P11.
certain time. I'm gonna miss that, like.
Yeah, then P11s won't matter now because like P9 would be you
On
could
the same
even
tire. It's
yeah, and plus you're starting with fresh tires, so no matter what you could get fresh. But it'd be interesting in quality what way you will qualify because will you keep two fresh set of softs now because you're gonna set on a fresh set of softs and then you probably
yeah.
want a fresh set for the end of a safety car. So that's the only thing, but that's not like a big difference.
No,
But
wouldn't
uh,
be.
that's true. But and do you watch the F1 yourself? Like, would you be religious watching it or just watching now and
Yeah,
again?
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, even like for example the Australia. I was up for the practice sessions, the qualifying the race, everything. I can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't miss it. Yeah, that's true. And obviously, who's your favorite driver?
Sebastian Vettel,
I like myself. And what age are you actually again, Ben?
17.
So 17. So
So yeah.
you when did you start watching the first? When was your first memory of F1?
Yeah, my first memory was I think it was Vettel. It was either 2013 or 2014 Malaysia, and I was just sitting there and watching it. And obviously, when you're that young, it's oh he won. He's my favorite.
Hmm.
So Vettel won as that's my man. I stopped watching it for a while, then lost interest. Then I came back around 2019, and Sebastian Vettel's fighting for a championship, and stuck by him since, for better for worse.
That's good. That's good. And then since when did you like? So 2019 was pretty much you start watching it from again.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's when I'd start watching it religiously. Like,
yeah. It does be good. Like it's mad. Like with the league as well. Like when you're racing yourself, it can you just get hooked on it. Then like you hooked that practice
yeah.
sessions, the real thing. Like so. And who do you think will win it this year?
So my head tells me Leclerc will win it, but obviously for nostalgic reasons, seeing a number one on a Red Bull car, it's like I want to see Max do it again, but I don't think I don't think the car has it in it. I don't think Mercedes will be up there either. I think it'll be Leclerc in the end. I'm sure you'll be chuffed at that.
Yeah. Oh well, myself. Yeah. The thing is, like, I know it's gone. It seems like if that Red Bull isn't like reliable, you're gonna go back. I know it's grand now because I support the Ferrari team. It will just go back to like a Mercedes. You get me? It's just changing the paint and the logo.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And a bit like I know the new rule changes was good and it lead to closer racing, but sometimes it can backfire as well because the faster car behind can easily overtake and will easily stay ahead. Then the
yeah.
only
I think
thing,
it's
yeah,
hard. Like unless like the only time we've actually seen a car get overtaken and then really, really fight back this season so far has been Jeddah with the two Alpines.
yeah,
It was
that's
the
it.
only real time we
Yeah,
saw a proper dogfight. Other than that, it's kind of been, oh, yeah, I got past you. Oh, you're going to fight me through the corner, but I'll get you on the straight. I'll be gone. You know what I mean?
and that's it. And talking about Jeddah, that was like, remember, I think the VSC came out and Leclerc got caught by his Delta by a couple of tenths.
Yeah,
And in the first sector, Verstappen managed to get into the 1 second of him. And then once he
I
got the
think,
DRS with that Red Bull, that was about 10 kilometers an hour quicker than a straight line. Then you have your plus your slipstream and your DRS, so it was
you're
very
set up
hard.
to fail
Yeah,
almost,
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
you?
So
Where
that yeah,
it's,
because that's why they were overtaking each other there and back. But that was good to see. But I think if there wasn't nothing, would have been just a Leclerc win. It wouldn't have been like there was no
yeah.
VSC. But yeah. And then are you looking forward to the new game?
Well, I've only started to properly get to grips with this one, probably in the like second half of this season. So I'm looking forward to the next season, but I'm sure I'll get hooked instantly onto the 2022 as well. So I think when you look at the cars as well, some of them just look gorgeous, don't they?
Yeah, they looked very good, and I'd be interested now. Obviously, I think in the game, this year's game, and I think this year's game is probably like I think you only get like about 30%, 30, 35. And I think it was 30 in the last game, but the dirty air will be, you won't have that really anymore.
Yeah,
And I know it's not
sort
like
of
as
follow
big as it
more,
was
and
in real life, but it'll be
you
a
can
lot.
definitely still feel it though,
Feel it,
because
yeah.
like, we're not stuck to 100%. But when you can feel 35 for us, it would feel like 50 because we're not used to actually dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
So it's intense.
yeah, that's it. Like, and obviously, yeah, that's it. And you want to get up probably speed as quick. I think people usually get up once whoever, like I was talking to Colin, and he says he gets up to speed with new games quick. And we should be hoping that now for the next game.
Yeah, no, that's because the aim obviously has to be to be in tier one. So if I want to do that in the next game, it has to be done early. You know what I mean? Because then everyone else will catch up, and I can't get left behind if I want to do that. So
That's it. And I like yeah where you have a goal for tier one. Jesus, I've actually never came like yourself, like you've mentioned that now, like that, like they want to be in tier one. I know a few drivers probably said it, but a few drivers just want to be in a tier that they're
where they can
comfortable
fight and
for. Yeah, yeah. But I
wins.
like I like the way you're thinking that mindset as well. Like that's a good mindset. And what makes you just want to be in tier one all of a sudden? Or I don't know. I haven't talked to you as much, but
Yeah, no, it wasn't like it was not. I think because I'd be everything. I'd be very competitive. Like you know what I mean. So like I'd race up the stairs with a brother or something. Like I'd race to see who can finish brushing their teeth quickest, stuff like that. I just want to win. So it's like I want to win. I want to be in the top level. I want to be a winner. Like, you know what I mean. And then the attention tier one gets compared to tier two was a lot more as well. So it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. And obviously, you want to be in that top 20, that magical top 20. At least
That's
you can
it.
go. You can be in at your sessions now, Benji, and go, yeah, I'm a top 20 driver. You could tell
Look,
that stories.
top 20 in Ireland. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good goal and good. I think you have it in you as well, so it'll be interesting. And talking about if you saw the tier two race, that's been the most viewed. Not the most viewers at the one time watching, but was the most views looked back at with over 1,200 views on it. I don't know what all of a sudden it just ballooned up there. So tier two will be next season. Will be the
Which race is this?
the Abu Dhabi one, the one you won.
No way, yeah?
Yeah, it became the most viewed, like fucking League of Ireland race.
Oh, yeah. 1 point. Jeez, that's something going.
Yeah, it just ballooned. I looked at it, I think it was Friday. I don't know, I had a point or something. I had a few points
Yeah.
and I looked at it in the yoke. I was like, what? Am I drunk? Am I that drunk now?
You see it double.
Double, and then, yeah, I think that, and I looked back at, there was a lot of people from different countries and Ireland, like new viewers, because I can see everyone who's what, like, not like their accounts, but where
Yeah.
they like subscribe viewers or non-subscribe, but I think it was like 50% of that who watched that was non-subscribed. So a lot of new people, new eyes, and few people commented on it. So it's
That's
good
the
to see.
heavy.
Yeah,
They just saw Ferrari up front and they were like,
yeah, that's
they're
it, Ben.
back
You could,
again.
you know what? You could go. My race win was the most viewed race win in LOI history. So that's what you can
That's
say
it.
on that. You can put that on a CV.
That was the most shaky because I got in and I got out of the pit. I didn't even get set an outlap. I got out of the pit box with 1 second. So
Mhm.
literally, as the car touched the pit road, I was snapped in the spectator. So to get the setup and all, it was stressful.
Yeah, and especially you need to set up now in league racing, don't you? You
Oh,
can't get
you'd
away
be
with
eaten
a default.
alive. You know what I mean? You'd
Yeah,
be properly eaten alive.
like you just lose so much performance. And then talk about setups. You just click. Do you have your own specific setups, or you just pick a setup on the leaderboard, or?
During the week, like, so I'd go for the one I put most effort into this season was Canada, right? So I took a setup from somebody that's in tier one that's on a wheel. I can't remember who. I think it might have been Dills or Saucy. And then I played around it until I was comfortable with it. So it wasn't like a complete my own setup, but I put my own bits on to make the car stable because I like a car where it's like I can really like slap the wheel into the corner,
Mm-hmm.
so I can just push it and it won't like so the rear end will just won't wobble on me. So like stable car, so play
Yeah,
around till I get that.
that's it, and that's it. You better be careful now. Like in tier two, people be looking at the L setups now. You're gonna have to be bluffing.
Yeah,
But
so
that's it.
I learned that from Saucy. I was using one of his setups at the start of the season. I was like, it's undrivable, mate. He's like, yeah, that's because it's a time trial and I don't use them. They're supposed to be undrivable. I was like, oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's it. I used to do that as well. I used to pick an L bat in season two or one. I used to pick an L setup, and then for a high downforce track, I'll put an extra two wings on both down
Yeah,
and make it nice and quick, and just have my own little setup and let everybody pick that one. It's a great one. It's a great one. But Sassy's
people
right at
will
that.
do it as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's it. That's it. Yeah, but it's good if you're fighting for a championship. You'll do everything you can, but obviously you'll experience it.
yeah,
That's this season, and then
hopefully.
and then in the lower tiers, who'll be your favourite drivers? Who'll be your favourite, like you like to support?
Well, tier four, it would be Ryan Curran. It's
Ryan, yeah.
relative family, so have to.
Is he your cousin or?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's improving as well.
Yeah, it's, compared to what he started as, he's done well, alright. He missed out on a race win now in Abu Dhabi, but look, he's improving.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
he's rapper, and is he younger than you, Ben?
Yeah. He's about 14, 13, I think.
Yes, yeah. So the, like lads that age, they'll practice the hours they'll put in. The bunch of energy
Yeah,
they do.
absolutely. Yeah. Look, he was on it since Christmas, and he just got hooked. I think I remember his mother coming up to me and going, "What have you done to my child?" I was like, "What you mean?" It's like, "You gave him that wheel, and now he's hooked." I was like, "You're welcome. Your child's gonna be waking up at 6 for races in Australia. Enjoy it."
Sure, and then he'd be shouting at league races now. He will be. I tell you now. I apologise if you're listening.
Walking around the house quoting fucking team radios and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'd be. Ah, that's gas. That's gas. But it's
Oh,
good to
it's
see the commitment. At least it's all like positive way.
yeah.
Hopefully in that way. But then tier three. Anyone do you like in tier three
I
now?
would. I know he's dying for me to. He's waiting for me to say he's itching. I'd love to see A Whelan with it.
Yeah.
He was one of the. Funny enough, he was my first mate in the league, and also my first crash. Monza. I tried to go around the outside of him. Scary. He went into the wall, and we ended up ripping each other's throats out and the all drivers. And then we turned out to be fairly good mates. So
And were you just friends because the league was it?
yeah, no, literally hadn't a notion of him beforehand. So it was
Yeah,
funny.
that's good. That's good. Also, like that. It's mad how that like a lot of the league has found loads of friends for people, which is good. I thought you just
Definitely.
knew
Like,
each other from just outside. I don't know why, but
no,
that's it from the
like you
league.
see, like the lads all go on the nights out together and stuff like that. It's deadly to see, like, isn't it?
Yeah, if we're going out next Saturday, I'm not too sure what's happening because Gary, I'll tell you a funny story. I might as well let it go on the stream here. I heard this from Kachiga. So they were booking an apartment in Bryder, and
Yeah,
then I was like to Gary, where are you staying? And he goes, in an apartment in Bray. So I live up in Carrick Mines there, like, and Leopardstown around there. And I was like, just wondering where he's staying because they're going to Farrell's place, the pub down in Greystones for the race the day after. So Saturday they're
yeah.
going into the city centre. And he goes, I go, Gary, where are you staying then? And he goes, we are staying in an apartment. So Kachiga goes, who's we? And he goes, he named out fucking Slim, Sully, and Farrell. Alright, and then in the chat, alright, he goes, every man for himself. But he caught himself out. We had four lads in a room with each other. Some man. And then the apartment got cancelled on them. So I don't know what's gonna happen now with them. So I found that fucking hilarious now. So every man for himself now. You.
Every man for himself.
But yeah, next week we're going now, and obviously who's watching and more than welcome to come. And yeah, we're going to town. A few lads are coming up, so I don't know what's going to happen, but it's good. It's good with the nights out, and then I'm gonna try plan something for all of us in the summer. Anyway, I love to get an awards night.
You have to. It'd be brilliant, like.
I love to book
The,
out a big like a hall, like you
yeah,
know, like them, like a hotel, like way and nice and
yeah, like
fancy.
a conference room and stuff like that. And
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to get that and then have a big, huge projector on the screen and then do like from the start, having your presentation and then a few drivers and then have your fucking best overtake from each season and then
yeah,
we'd comment on it. I'd love to get
brilliant.
that. I'd love to get that and then obviously everyone could bring a plus one and then but it'd be just a lot of organising but it's possible. It's possible. That's what I hope to get in the summer before the new game. Before the new
So I
game
can
that
see
comes
the
out.
two Sullivan brothers rocking up and matching tuxedos.
Yeah,
That's if I ever saw that, my life is complete.
that's it. Like plus, one's a tier one champ and one's a tier two champ, so
That's it.
you'll see them going up collecting their trophies anyway.
Uh,
Yeah, that'd be good. And hopefully, when you 18,
would be January.
we'll work something for you anyway.
Yeah.
Well, so I was about to say anything outside F1 Like, obviously, I didn't come back to your tier one driver. Actually, I said tier three. But
Oh, oh. See, like I'd be very good friends with a lot of them. Like you know what I mean. Um,
look. You won't be good friends with them all when you're in it. Though. That's the thing,
I'm
won't
gonna
you?
make a few enemies saying this. Um, I want to say I'd love to see Ryan Daff challenging for a title.
Ryan Dash. So Ryan Dash, your favourite T1 driver.
Ryan Dav, this probably anybody but Jack Hurston's, I think.
But Jack Harrison's.
But Jack Hurston's, yeah. I think Jack's past it now. He's washed.
Oh, Jesus, there's a strong statement there.
There's the headline.
That's it.
No, I'd love to see like even Dav in Canada was excellent, and in China last season as well. Poor Tommy probably had an aneurysm because of the man and his switchbacks.
That's true. Yeah, and I've raced with him before. I think I went in. It was what season it was? I think it was season 3 or 4. I think what when we had it, and his name was Shane Daff. It was his brother's name on it.
Yeah,
And I remember
it's easy as that account.
yeah, I remember he did a move, and I was like, that lad is absolutely nuts on the dive bomb. He loves an
Oh,
out move.
that's I remember me and Josh were doing tier one comms last season, and every time I just watch him because I knew he's gonna pull something out from 200 yards back, 200 meters back, and it's gonna be deadly. That's
Yeah,
what they call him, like the AC 130 and stuff like that. Poor man, but
yeah,
he's
that's
cleaned up his driving an awful lot. He's
yeah. I give him that since then. Like I was like, we crashed, and he was from miles away. But if he pulled it off, he would have looked amazing. He would have had that on the
yeah,
TikTok. But yeah, he's really improved, and I'm delighted for him that he got his first win. Got his
yeah,
first
because I
win there
think
this
probably last season he was falling a bit behind, but now he's right up there. Him and Fanjo, I think, have had biggest improvement in that tier.
I, I agree with you because they were like I remember in season 5 I think Ryan Daff got a P5 in Australia and that was he was buzzing over a P5 and got points and all and just goes to show now he has a win and getting them like once you have a win now you can fight for a championship you know you can
That's it. You have to
you have a
build it
win
up.
you know how to win a race now so anything can happen but yeah that was interesting now. And then obviously, do you do anything like I know you like your bows, don't you?
I do. I love my balls.
And
What winning tonight as well. So
yeah, and would you be a main like proper diehard fan go to the games
yeah,
or yeah,
love it. Like it's one of the best feelings in the world, especially because it's your own like country as well. Like you know what I mean? It's your
yeah,
own, it's your own national league. Like so, it's for me going to a Bows match beats going to a Liverpool, Man United. Sorry, Gary, but everything.
yeah, that's it. And obviously, did you grow up or did you have any older brothers or like you what like or just older siblings in your family or you
So
just liked them yourself?
my dad's a Northsider, so he was a huge Bows fan. My uncle played for them for a long time as well. Then he went over to Wolves and stuff like that. But that's when I started going to the games and got hooked.
Jesus. And what year did your uncle play for Bows?
Would have been the 90s, I think it would, and 2000s.
Jesus.
He's in his 40s now, so it's
Yeah, yeah, and so that's mad and that. Where do you think now you've finished this season now? Where you have?
ugh, hasn't been great. So I think it will be probably a fifth, maybe a fourth, but I think obviously you want third for the Europa League, but I don't think we're at that level yet. We keep. It's funny because if added time wasn't a thing in League of Ireland, we'd be second in the league. We've conceded every game after 90 minutes in extra time, and we've drawn so many.
That's awful. That is.
It's
That's
heartbreak, and it's like binning it on the last lap
a
kind of
lap.
thing,
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's like winning like a couple of
which
races
I've
and then you
definitely
win.
done.
Yeah, look, it's easy to do. Like, but obviously, then with Wheelo, you and Wheelo, do you have a bit of? He does mention me when because he's a Rovers fan, and he does be mentioning me a bit.
Yeah,
Like he'd be
yeah,
going like,
he loves to look down on the smaller club as he calls it.
does he call
Yeah,
it a smaller club? Does he?
look, we're a smaller club, but he's every opportunity he gets, he's lurking around. And so we're
That's it.
playing them on Friday now in our place, so
Jesus, yeah,
have to win.
I've been there. Like, would that be packed now? Would that stand be packed at Daily Mount now?
Day
Back
amount,
end.
yeah, no, it would be sold out full house now, like because it usually is because they've sold pretty much the whole ground to season ticket holders. So I think it's 20, no, about 15% is general sale for home fans, and then 15 for away. So
Yeah.
and then that's 70% season ticket holders.
Jeez, that's yeah. Cause and are they built? Did they have another stand, a smaller stand? Would that be sold out over there too? Would it or?
Yeah, that's the away stand. So
So then that's where obviously that'd be Rovers.
and then we've the huge stand across the way from the main stand, but there's like health and safety risks with it, so we can't even use that. But that's another, I think, 1,000 seats.
Yeah, that's good. And would you reckon, like in the future now, in 10 years, would they just have a little small stadium around then, like the whole like stand they got
Yeah,
around?
the Daily Mount project is going on now, so it's like they're redeveloping it. It's gonna look like a proper stadium. It's gonna be surrounded like by glass and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's,
that's good.
it's
That's
gonna
good.
go up to, I think, 6,000 seats, and it's gonna cost like 20 million. So
Jeez.
they're going fully, but the problem is it's run by Dublin County Council, so that could get built in like 10 years, and it's supposed to be due in this year. So
That's
you
true.
just never know.
Hopefully you stay in the top division. Then that's what I just hope to do.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I don't think that's like I don't think we'll be scared of that, but it's you need the money from Europe if we want to keep
Yeah.
going up. But
So it's top. Yeah, top three. That's what you really want, isn't it?
third is perfect because then we'll get the Europa Conference League, which is easier to get through. Like we almost got to the group stage last year,
Jesus.
so
And
we
would you
were
say if
one.
you was a couple of years ago when Dundalk got the group stage, didn't they? They were
Yeah,
in the group stage, and would they've got a good bit of money from that, like in the Europa League.
huge. Like because when you think of it, it's like each qualifying game is like in Conference League we were getting 350,000 a game. So it's like when you're in Champions League, it's about 500,000, probably 700,000. So it's like you can come out of that with 2, 3, 4 million if you play it right, which is just huge for League of Ireland clubs.
Yeah, that'd be, and obviously that will. You need good investors and all to look after that, but like that's just goes to show you how much, like if you have a freak season, anything can happen around that.
Yeah, that's like one of the teams there. Sligo probably shouldn't have had any right getting what they have, but they're after getting third, so they're going to be playing European football.
Mental. And do you like any other sports yourself? Do you play
I love golf.
obviously golf? Yeah.
Yeah, I love golf.
And who's your favorite golf player?
Has to be Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry, yeah.
Has to be. Just
Just
he's so
Irish,
calm
cause yeah, and
so
just
calm and collected, and he's most of the time anyway. But then he has that bit of fire in him. It's deadly.
yeah, like that's he's good, and you can spot him as an Irishman, cause you have all these golfers, they're all like built and well, they're all like fucking slim
Yeah,
and all that, and then there's Shane, a proper Irishman that loves his food and
proper.
few
Loves his
points.
points. Loves his field. Proper
Yeah,
awfully man.
that's it. And who do you think will be win the next major now? I think it's PGA now, the next one.
Now
Uh,
I backed Cantley for the Masters.
yeah,
I think he'll be up there. Like he was up there for this weekend as well, the Hermitage, but he was beaten by Spieth. But I'm gonna say Cantley. Varner is rapidly improving too. So
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one. I love the All Majors myself. Do you like them?
yeah, there's always a buzz, like isn't there, when you're watching it? People are actually talking about it. It's like whenever Monaco comes around in F1, everyone's talking about it. Even though it's not a great race, but it's everyone knows. Even if they're not F1 fans, they know.
What
Oh,
Monaco
that's
is?
Monaco.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It's like El
yeah.
Clasico in football too. Like things like that, big. It's like that. It's deadly.
That's true. That's true. And obviously, fucking that's all that matters, isn't it? It's like that with the championships. It's just that the majors. That's all that matters, really. At the end of the day, the other ones are like race wins.
Yeah,
They're-
if you wanna be the best, you have to win the best parts of it, don't you? Like,
Yeah,
so
and they're hard to win as well. Like, but that's what
I'd say
you'll be remember of anyway, Ben, at the end of the season.
we'll see, we'll see.
And then, geez, what do I have? Any other questions? Does anyone have any questions for Ratcliffe in the chat? And obviously, can you see yourself, like, I know it's my question now to say, you see yourself now about season 9 or 10 now fighting for a tier 1 championship?
I'll definitely be here anyway. That's for certain. Anyway, I'm here for a long time anyway. But I want to say yes. We'll see. We'll see. Like, it all depends. Like, there's so many factors of game, like what game suits people, and but no, I reckon I'll be in tier 1 by that stage. I think anyway.
Yeah,
We'll
look,
see about.
there's no point putting too much pressure on you anyway.
Yeah.
And what's your favourite track?
Now you've hurt me the last 2 seasons, so I'm hoping you're not gonna let me down this season. And all I want is Bahrain. That's all I
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
Put
I know,
Bahrain on the
hurt
calendar and Canada.
Bahrain and Canada.
Canada's Canada would be my best track, but Bahrain would be my favourite.
Favourite, yeah. I'll, I'll around it, but Bahrain will be on it this season anyway. That's be on it
I'm
anyway.
happy.
And I'll tell you
That's,
in the rest. That's the only hints you're all getting
we're
because I
sorted.
deserve. Yeah, but we'll be on it. And it'll be a good calendar as well. So
Yeah,
to round off the game, that's what I know. Like last season, there was a bad one, but I have to mix it up. I have to fuck. If
you
I
have
could
to
pick the
fit in
same,
every
if I
track,
could
I
pick the
suppose.
best,
Like,
if I pick the best tracks and everybody loves all the time, you should just get fed up with them tracks. Then.
same calendar every year. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. And I know what the odd season, like a calendar can be shite and all, but like you have to do that. Like you just have to
yeah.
fucking
You have to get through them all at some stage, almost. Like,
yeah, like that's it. And
I'm
if
sure we'll have Portimao this year now, or this season,
I look,
since
you're
we
giving me
won't actually have it in the game.
yeah,
So
like that's you're giving me too much health tips now. You have to be quiet.
pushing it.
You're pushing it, but yeah,
Uh,
and for the new game, obviously this. See the thing, I'm getting worried now with this new game. They haven't released the date or anything. Nothing's been made. Like you usually hear a
no,
bit of like bit of rumors going around. Like
as
even
it's
a
been
month or two.
16th of April has been the trailer for the last 3 years, but maybe because it was Easter they decided to hold off. But
Yeah, the 2 years was. I think it was 2 years actually for that, and
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
like
don't know. I don't know. I just think probably the new cars could have been. Just
you
could have
just
been.
hope it doesn't turn into like where we have to have a shortened season of like 9 races or something just for the sake of filling in weeks.
That's it. I don't think because we're getting underway with the calendar, and it usually came out
Yeah,
in July, mid-July. This one season will last till the end of July, so it won't be a bad one. But like they haven't mentioned anything, so I'm pleased God they're hoping August. That's what my goal is. And as you said, you don't want to be short and a calendar down to it, but I doubt it will happen. And then obviously we're gonna have to take a break because everybody has to get. But the good thing, if people are listening, I'm gonna have a testing series. So like for an example, like do you know, come you need like 3 or 4 weeks for a new game. We're gonna have like
yeah,
a track, just a track. You'll know the calendar and all that, but I'll have a track where we'd be just testing. That's it. We'd be just on it for like an hour. And it'd be good for people now because there's a new game and everybody can sandbag now, and we don't know
Yeah, yeah.
who's where for the first race of the season. So that'd
Tier
be
1 champion ends up at like Tier 4 pace the whole week and then ends up being 10 seconds ahead of everyone, that kind of stuff. It's
yeah. That's stuff. The sandbags be on a certain drivers. I can imagine so with that. But it'd be good interaction, and obviously for the commentators to talk, like mention the drivers, mention their previous stats and all. But
yeah.
I don't want to fucking go look here, look a week into the game and go here, look, we'll start a league now. Like it's not fair. You're not gonna get
No,
fucking everyone up to pace. But yeah, that'd be good, and hopefully the new game will be much better than much improved, as I could say.
a lot of things that they can do, like, so I'm sure with maybe the funding, that additional funding they might get, it might improve, but it all comes down to what they actually want, what direction they want to go with the game.
That's it. And then what's your thoughts being actually an admin now this season? You're in.
I'm back.
Yeah, what? Because I have taken, because now this season, because last season was tough. Well, not tough. It was just a lot of people were doing
Tried
that
something
all.
different almost.
Yeah. Try. I have everybody in a team. So whose team you in again? Who do I have you in again?
I'm
one
a
or
Farce Gary.
Gary? So, yeah, you were Gary.
I'm in
So,
one.
so how are you feeling to be an L Tier 1 admin now?
Yeah, like I enjoyed it last time when I was doing it, season 5. So
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. So it's good to actually help out because I enjoy it enough that I've no problem like giving a dig out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good, and I appreciate that as well because some other drivers that's the one the race and they're so busy working. That's totally understandable. But obviously, with your time, you're taking your own little time and effort to help us. So I appreciate that. And
Yeah,
then
like it's like if you're doing it, like, because I've been doing it since season 4. I've been here. Like, there's no
Yeah.
point in not doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm on my phone 24/7 almost anyway. So it takes no time out of my day. You know what I mean?
that's it. And then, do you have any pre-race rituals or anything before a race? Do you have anything comes into your mind? Mine was always sit straight and at the TV on the chair. That was mine.
Oh, well, mine would always be as I get into the lobby, like I load in. Well, I do a few like qualifyings and stuff before. I'd load in, put a glass of water to my right, drop a few tents in the bathroom beforehand.
So
we'll
you're
see.
one of those that has a nervous feel.
Oh yeah, no, it's not nerves, but it's just a ritual. It's like
it's
body
excitement
clock.
nerves. Excitement nerves.
I'm just trained that at 9:54 you gotta go.
Do you know what? Do you know what that reminds me of now? Because you know when drivers go toilet in the car, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of the LOI going to the toilet in the car. That is the equivalent. 100% the nervous ones. Gary has plenty of those. He does.
I've seen lads go, oh, we should do a 100% race at some point. Maybe the last race of the season's 100%. I'd be wearing a nappy. I'd be sitting there in the cockpit wearing a nappy. I wouldn't be able for it.
I don't mind. You would at that time in the moment, but like you do be in a high after a race. Like when you were in a race, does it take you a while like to calm down, like get your like mind like off it then?
Depends on how it went. So it's like if I binned it like near early on, I'd be like, right, look, it's done, whatever. If I bin it at the end, I'm hopping, I'm raging. If I win it, that carries you through the next probably day or two. But yeah, no, it's like, or you replaying like overtakes in your head and stuff like that.
That's it, yeah. And even if
one overtake that always sticks in me, I think you were commentating on it in Spain, back on F1 2020, down into turn 1, straight, like went left, went right. Dive bomb, like it was.
Yeah, I think, and then
proud of that one.
Your lap, I remember, the one in Austria, wasn't it?
The rain, yeah.
Yeah, that. Do you know what that reminds me of? A Hamilton in 2020 in that track. When it
Yeah,
was raining, that lap reminded me of. That was a great lap, and I don't really remember laps. I don't even remember my
yeah.
own pole laps. So that I remember
That
that was a great.
one, like that, since it was the first pole I got, it's like it sticks with you. But my favorite one is the Canada one this season.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. And I was
I
actually in
think,
with you on that one. I remember that.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And then
remember
my remote died with 8 laps to go, and I was driving with no audio.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I was talking your way through, but like, and plus you and that section, like that goes show
yeah,
you he's a tier one driver, and look what you did with that race. So like, if you improve on a certain few tracks, it'd be good as well. And
yeah.
yeah, and
And so I got 2 poles and 2 race wins, but I wanna improve on that.
that's it. Obviously, you want to get there. And what I've noticed with you, when you get a podium, it's usually on the top step of the podium. So like that's just I think
Win it or bin it.
60%. Yeah, I think 60% of your podiums have come from P1 when you think about it. And so where do you hope the league to go? Like where would you like it to end up, and what way progress in the future since it's getting bigger by the day?
I think it'd be great to have like a lot more tiers, like almost. So you have one tier maybe like 5 nights, 6 nights a week, like you know what I mean. It's like you always have something to watch. But that it's you just see people just get faster, like because if people are closer together, it's better racing.
Yeah,
And then you want views up on the YouTube channel. I think it's very not underappreciated, but it's for the effort that goes into it. It deserves so much more views than what we're
and
getting.
that's it. Like yeah, 100%. But my biggest regret of talking about that, I think when we were in season two, Twitch is good. Twitch we used to
Yeah,
stream on Twitch, and it used to get like I think the most we had like was 50 something people watching at one time, and that was only when the league was only beginning. But I think if you want a long term solution, if you want the league to get like big, like in like it's 2 years now, you want about another 2 years, and then obviously in 5 years time, YouTube would be the better for the long term journey.
yeah,
Twitch would be the
definitely.
better. Yeah, that's my biggest regret when I started up this and when I started on Twitch, because I was able to upload. I only realized how to upload from Twitch onto YouTube in season two, and I didn't in season one. So most of the season one races are not that like recorded. Like only one has been, but that's my biggest regret. If we had started this league again, and if I had that, I'd love to start on YouTube, and I think we would be a lot bigger now. But I think
Yeah,
the
definitely.
the last month we've had 51 subscribers out of 426 out in the whole 2 years. So
This is
so
the type of season. Well, F1 actually starts back.
yeah,
This
and
is where you seem to get.
yeah, yeah, that's it. And I reckon the new game will bring a lot into it, and hopefully it's a cross-platform. That the cross-platform will be a big one. But I think in the next 2 years, that's what you say, will get bigger. That's what I think. And then we're gonna look at the comments here. Who was your favourite teammate that you had? Johnny, real Johnny said that.
Whoa. The two that stand out are Johnny and Jack Harty. Because I had people I wouldn't really have talked to. Although when I was in tier 3A, Whelan was pretty much a teammate because I was on parties and all with him that much. But I think I'm gonna go with Real Johnny because we won the constructors.
That's it. Like you
But
always.
I think me and Jack Harty, if we were to get me and Jack were teammates, say this season, we'd definitely win the constructors.
So there you go, Johnny. So if it was him and Jack, you won't be the favourite no more. But yeah, he respects you for fair play, and look, it's the constructors at the end of the day. Like that's
100%.
you'll always remember
That
the
was the
teammate
first
when you
time of
win them.
season
Yeah,
where I really, because I remember I was out of the championship at that point. I was like, right, Johnny's still in it last race season. I was like, oh, we'll go on, we'll win the constructors, and we'll try and win him his championship by defending like an absolute Fernando Alonso. But unfortunately, he ended up in a wall that I was good from, and then I ended up winning the race.
So another question, LOI Gary Drobro. Who's Ben's biggest rival?
Oh, well, if we're going off who has destroyed the most wings, it's definitely between myself and Gary Drow. But if we're going by pure racing, I think my favourite person to battle on track, it would be Section. Because when I have done it with both of us, like that Canada race, we were probably, I think it was 27, 28 laps, we were neck and neck. I think it was the best battle I've ever had. Rival would definitely be. I hate rival on track now. We're not like championship wise, but me and Josh seem to always have a little bit between our teeth when we're racing.
Yeah, like a bit of shoulder to shoulder, a bit more physical.
Definitely.
Like
a lot more little taps and a little less space, but there's no bad blood like at all.
Yeah, that's it. And
that
that's
would
it.
probably
Like,
be the hardest racing I've had.
Yeah, and that's good to have that as well. Like people say, "Oh, he touched me," and all, but that's what you want. Like you want a bit, but you don't want to go over the line on it. Like
no, definitely not.
Don't. All right. So LOI Dilzer, I think, right, says favorite tier 1 driver.
I'm afraid Dilzer supports St. Pat, so that's a no. Ooh. See, there's a few like that. I'd be delighted for them when they get a good result. But like even in Abu Dhabi when Farrell finally got his podium, I was absolutely delighted for him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's what I'm gonna miss about being able to talk to everyone in every tier. It's like you have to be chuffed for them. But they're all genuinely lovely lads, so it's hard. I think Ryan Dabb is probably my favourite to watch. I think he's probably the ballsiest of all of them.
All of them, yeah.
I think he's the bravest, alright. I think he'll throw his car wherever, and it's very, I'm coming up, you're racing me, or you're pulling out. It's brilliant.
So that's Ryan Daff. So Ryan Daff's the favourite. Look, it's all right, Dale. So I'm not there no more. You would have said it me anyway.
Yeah, he's retired.
Yeah, I'm in the old chair there just watching it. So favourite tier driver, Whelan said that. I think he knows that himself.
Wheelo, you know yourself. Come on, Whelan's tier 3 favourite driver.
Favourite driver. And Gary Drobro goes, will you ever come back to the commentary team?
Ooh. Yes. Yeah, I would.
You would, so you would.
I would. I enjoyed it, like, because I remember tier 5 is probably the funniest crack I've had at the same time, but really enjoying talking to you. Because some of them, like, to see them go from tier 5 to round 1, where they're all just lamping each other into corners and sending it into walls and spinning. And then when you get to the end, like, there's some genuinely going wheel to wheel and fighting each other, and there's actual interest in racing. Like, I loved seeing that. But then tier 1 was like, it was just deadly to watch because everyone was so close and everyone was fighting. It was just, I enjoyed doing
it. Yeah, that's true. I'll get you back. And we're actually in 2 minds of having a tier 5 at this present. So if 90, but like if anything improves in the week, we'll know for definite in a week's time if there'll be a tier 5 now next. And then, that's, well, Dale's just, lads, he's had to text me. Text me when you are available. And then we'll get you in the Slater notebook. Write it down in the Slater's notebook. But,
get the punditry team on after.
That's what I like. I like to get, like, if you got a few people, say for an instance, on a Thursday, when there's no racing, you can get, like, a review of the
pre-race conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation on that week.
Yeah.
Get about 4 drivers in, and then hopefully I'm trying to get the camera sorted on them, like, and then make it more realism looking. But yeah. I think
That'd be
that would be
brilliant,
good.
actually.
Like that'd be for the future and people to talk about who done this mistake and what should have when they should have pitted and all for like what lap they should have pitted on, and obviously with the safety car coming out a lap later and all when they pitted.
Yeah,
Hey, Whelan, do
we've
we have
all
to
had
be?
that nightmare.
Do we have to be 18? Would you stop out? I'll get you in. I'll get you in. I'll get you deals here now. Hey, Whelan, and I'll give you a text. And so next season championship now, Ben. So knuckle down, and
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
that's it. My biggest advice for you is don't go too hard on yourself. Focus on yourself and do what you did in Canada. Just be nice. Don't even just focus on what you're doing and not anyone else. And it just goes to show you how quick you were. That's what I
100%,
think.
yeah.
That's it. And even if you're having a bad race, you're in a P8 or P9. It's points at the end of the day. Don't give it up.
Points.
Just
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. And I have nothing else to say. Do you have anything else to say, Ben? A shout out to
No?
anybody or
No,
no?
no, not really. I think it's obviously still like whenever you get it off, you know, but I do really, like, I think we all really appreciate how the league started and the effort you put in with wiping out Discord, dealing with drivers and stuff like that. So, fair play to yourself. This is a brilliant concept as well. I think I hope I didn't bore anybody, but no, the effort you put in it's noticed, is what I'm trying to say, and fair play to you.
Cheers, Ben. Because I was about to give it up there for next season and like give it to somebody else, but like I said, I won't. I won't. I'll have
There
to
was
stick with
outcry
it.
when you retired. You're not leaving us, would you go over?
Yeah, that's it. And I'm planning. I'll be back in the future anyway, racing. I'm not going to be back now next season, but I'm on terms for season 9 to be back.
That's just
So,
getting ready with the Fanatec, isn't it? That's just preparing now
look,
next season.
like, cause I don't know if I have the room. So my sister is 8.5 months pregnant, and she got an apartment. So she's moving out and all. So like the whole house is pretty much getting all like my sister moving rooms and all. So I'm planning to do my room up in the summer and have like a
Yeah.
little rig and have like the TV on the wall. So like that's
And that's when you
what I
come
was-
back for your 6th, 7th, 8th, is it?
Well, in the meantime, if I'm gonna come back, I'll be on the pad. It looks like at the moment in Tier 1, but on the wheel for season 10, I'll be definitely on the wheel. Season 10.
That's what we want to see.
That's
Big Dave will be challenging you for all his titles then, won't he? We see in the videos.
Look, as I say, an A wheeling will laugh at it. I'll put the feet up on the desk and just laugh at him. That's it. That's all I do. Put the feet up.
He's coming for all of them.
But that's it, that's it. And I just want to wish you the best and thanks obviously for the help, Ben, and and everybody in League of Ireland have really appreciated your help. And best of luck this season. That's all I have to say to you.
Cheers.
And that's it. So we'll leave it there now. And yeah, that's that. Hopefully, you were entertained by that. And if anybody else wants to be on the podcast, we'll hit you up. And obviously, the new season will start on May 8th for season 8. But yeah, good night and God bless. And we'll have Mags on Wednesday for a podcast. So thank you. Goodbye.